Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News24 live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. Let's begin with the headlines. President Tinubu in Rome for Akwaba process meeting on security. As a strike, federal government warns that no work, no pay policy remains an extant labor law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerian National Clean Cooking Forum advances affordable clean cooking and energy sources for families. Nigeria Center for Disease Control enters collaborations to translate vital health information into local languages. President Bola Tinubu is now in Rome, the capital of Italy, for the Akwaba process heads of state and government level meeting with special focus on the security crisis in West Africa. The meeting, which will begin on Tuesday, is scheduled to bring together heads of state and government, senior intelligence and military officials from African countries, and representatives of intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations to discuss the evolving security challenges in West Africa. The Akwaba process meeting, a counter-terrorism initiative, was launched by King Abdullah II of Jordan in 2015. It is co-chaired by the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the Italian government. This edition recognizes the complex security challenges confronting West Africa, including the expansion of terrorist networks, the growing crime-terror nexus, and the increasing overlap between land-based terrorism in the Sahel and the maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. The meeting will discuss ideas on how to coordinate efforts to counter terror, combat online radicalization, and disrupt digital networks that facilitate terrorist propaganda and recruitment. In a statement, Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that in addition to attending the plenary sessions of the Akwaba meeting, President Tinubu will hold bilateral talks with other leaders to explore ways of addressing the rising security challenges across the sub-region. The Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU has directed all its chapters nationwide to commence a 2-week warning strike from midnight Monday, October 13, 2025, following the expiration of a 14-day ultimatum issued to the federal government. ASU President Professor Chris P. Warner announced this at an emergency press briefing in Abuja on Sunday. He said the decision became necessary due to the government's failure to address critical issues affecting the university system, despite repeated engagements and assurances.
We are asking them to come back through this window to the negotiating table and discuss and resolve these issues with us. If they don't, we are going to meet again after 2 weeks. And when we meet after 2 weeks, we will take an action that will be certainly different from this one. Anybody that has followed the history of this union, they know that we work like a train. If we leave the station and start the journey, it's difficult to stop us until we get to the next station. And so, while we are ready, the drivers are ready, the train is serviced and ready to take off, we hope that they will not allow us embark on this next leg, which would be total and comprehensive.
The ASU president stressed that the union could no longer bear endless appeals without tangible outcomes. Minister of Education Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa and the Minister of State for Education Professor Suiba Saed Ahmed have jointly reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the federal government to constructive engagement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU towards the sustainable resolution of all outstanding issues affecting the university system. The ministers, in a statement by the ministry's Director, Press and Public Relations, Boriwo Folashade, stated that the federal government has virtually addressed all the concerns raised by ASUU. These include the introduction of a big percentage of teaching allowance and significant improvements in the conditions of service of academic staff. The few remaining matters are those that rightfully fall within the jurisdiction of the governing councils of the respective universities, which have been recently reconstituted to handle such internal issues. They note that though the government had met the deadline for representing its position to the union as agreed, ASUU has chosen to proceed with strike action. They, however, emphasize that the no work and no pay policy remains an extant labor law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the government will be guided by this law should academic activities be disrupted in the nation's universities. The ministers urged ASUU to reconsider its position and return to dialogue in the best interest of students and the future of Nigeria's education system. President Bola Tinubu has celebrated his son, Sheyi, on his 40th birthday, praising his leadership, discipline, and service-driven values. The president commended Sheyi's dedication as a husband and father, urging him to keep inspiring others. He prayed for wisdom, good health, and greater achievements that we continue making Nigeria proud. Every day, millions of Nigerian women light fires, not just to cook, but unknowingly to risk their lives with smoke from firewood, charcoal, and other traditional fuels, which slowly poison the air they breathe. But as advocates and policymakers gathered at the Nigerian National Clean Cooking Forum, the question was, how much longer will these families wait for relief with the affordability of clean cooking stoves and other energy sources still a problem? Charles Alpha reports.
The Nigerian Energy Transition Plan estimates that over 175 million Nigerians lack access to clean cooking solutions, with consequences to gender, health, and the environment, with many women and girls predominantly victims in most local and vulnerable communities. Hajia Fausat Yusuf and Ahmed Tijani are some of the millions of Nigerians who risk their lives daily with smoke from firewood, charcoal, and other traditional fuel, perpetually exposing their homes slowly to the poisoning air they breathe.
It's compulsory now because I'm going to cook. Gas, 1 kg is 1,100.
At this Nigerian Clean Cooking Forum 2025, with focus on unlocking investment and financing opportunities for Nigerian clean cooking, Hajia Fausat and Tijani are hoping they and many households like them will find relief.
Many of the local producers, including Nigerian LNG, are pricing Nigerian-made cooking gas in dollars. Therefore, when the exchange rate of dollar goes up, the cost of refilling our cylinders goes up. It should not be that way.
Even at the highest level, this is taking center stage, and it's a top priority at the level of cabinet to make sure that the legality is moved along.
For the Minister of Environment represented, beyond this grave health challenge, the diminishing forest due to deforestation and escalating climate event, efforts must be on unlocking large-scale financing driven by innovation and empower women as key actors in clean energy markets.
Our vision is of a cleaner Nigeria where no child gaps from smoke or inefficient cooking, where women and girls are free to strive, pursue education.
And the main aim is to protect the environment and reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, has called for women's active participation in Nigeria's oil and gas sector beyond just being end users. She made the advocacy at a workshop to sensitize women to explore the liquefied petroleum gas value chain. Ngozi Technical reports.
Nigeria's energy plan for women focuses on promoting their participation in the energy sector. The Minister of Women Affairs emphasizes that the time for the paradigm shift is now to empower women to own and manage energy assets, leverage LPG to power communities, and improve livelihoods. She highlights that women and girls bear the health risks associated with over 80% of households relying on solid fuels for cooking.
This is a sector where women are mostly end users. It's important that we recognize that it's also an economic space for women, and we have to strengthen their participation. Because in strengthening their participation, we can actually get the penetration that we desire collectively.
But women have always been in the forefront of gas, not from the industry perspective. That is why I align myself with the push to get them to the front burner, both from the industry perspective and as end users.
All of the aspects that are required for this Wings initiative to be successful. Women in LPG is very happy to be working with the ministry.
The minister is ensuring that LPG is affordable to stabilize the price, reduce the price, make it more affordable for rural women.
The initiative is championed by the Ministers of Women Affairs, Petroleum Resources, Regional Development, and the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, among other partners. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
The Benue State Executive Council has set up a committee to draft a white paper for the implementation of government bills and decisions on the reports of agricultural input verification for the year 2024 agro-input supply. Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Benjamin Asheva, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on resolutions of the State Executive Council meeting. Elia Sisiav has more.
The Implementation Committee, according to the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Benjamin Ashave, is headed by the Secretary to the State Government, while Commissioners for Agriculture and that of Justice and the Chief of Staff to the Governor are members. The committee is mandated to facilitate the process of payment to genuine vendors who supplied agricultural inputs in 2024 but have not received payment to that effect.
The Implementation Committee is again mandated to take all necessary measures, be they punitive or otherwise, to correct the ills of what transpired at the Bureau of Agricultural Mechanization for last year. In the same vein, a white paper drafting committee was also put in place with the SSG and some commissioners as members to also unravel what transpired at the main Ministry of Agriculture in respect of supplies and distribution of farm inputs during the same period under review.
Council also approved the establishment of the Benue Agro-Climatic and Watershed Management Agency to run side by side with Agro-Climatic Resilience and Semi-Arid Landscape, AGRISA, with Victor Ama appointed as Director General of the agency. The Council equally cleared the air on IDP funds and donations from donor agencies, insisting that the state government is not in possession of any money for displaced persons.
People who have the notion that monies are in the coffers of government are probably not believing government that such monies may be diverted should go to bed and rest, that government has no hand other than the decisions that will finally be arrived at between donor agencies, IDPs, with only a representative of government as witness.
The Council was also informed of job creation and placement opportunities offered by the Republic of Belarus, which the state is currently benefiting from the gesture, with 40 Benue indigenes undergoing training to acquire various skills. In Makudi, Elias Itiab, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News24. More stories when we return.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to...
The only tomato tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Arisco tomato paste and products. 100% natural tomato. Better food na correct. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount. Arisco tomato paste, the taste of Nigeria.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African Road.
This is NTA News24.
Thanks for joining us again. The governor of the central bank, Olayemi Cardoso, is leading Nigeria's delegation to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund annual meeting in Washington, D.C., which opens on Monday, October 13. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, states Cardoso, as the alternate governor, replaces the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Odun, who is indisposed. The Nigerian team will also comprise the Minister of State for Finance, Doris Ozoka Anete. Key elements of the annual meetings include the Development Committee plenary session on October 16 and the International Monetary and Financial Committee meetings on October 17. Other featured events include regional briefings, press conferences, and fora focused on international development, the global economy, and financial markets. To strengthen public understanding and promote better health practices, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, is collaborating with youth development organizations and language experts to translate vital health information into local languages. According to the NCDC Director General, Dr. Jide Idris, the initiative aims to make health campaigns more effective by bridging the communication gap often caused by language barriers, ultimately improving public adherence to safety and prevention protocols. Oluje Adeabo has details.
Public health communication in Nigeria has long faced challenges due to scientific complexity of disease-related information. This complexity often creates knowledge gaps, especially in communities where health messages are not delivered in a language the people understand. To address this, the NCDC and partners are set to translate medical terms and health information on antimicrobial resistance (AMR) into indigenous Nigerian languages.
Using local language helped women express their experiences to seek care and engage with healthcare providers more effectively. These examples remind us that language saves lives, because when people can name a problem, they can begin to solve it.
Linguistically rich as Nigeria, we have more than 500 spoken languages. So our words have to reach every home, every market, every school, and every classroom. Through this hackathon, we are reimagining how to communicate science in words and expressions that resonate with the people in our communities.
A key part of these efforts is the launch of CAMR Language Hackathon, an innovative program designed to improve awareness and understanding of AMR.
We're trying to get one huge Niger voice where we are harmonized, is centered around the people. It helps to empower our people to change their behavior.
I reaffirm our commitment to working together to build healthier, more informed communities through education and collaboration.
Stakeholders believe the initiative CAMR will spark more inclusive conversations and better community engagement around AMR and other infectious diseases in the country. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The federal government, in partnership with the Cross River State government, has inaugurated a task force to drive implementation of goals of the Maternal and Neonatal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative in the state. Justina Etim reports that the initiative is part of the renewed hope agenda aiming to improve healthcare, reduce maternal and infant deaths in high-risk local government areas across the country.
Nigeria accounts for a significant proportion of global maternal deaths and the second highest contributor to under-5 mortality globally, with poor access to healthcare services as a major factor driving these statistics. With Cross River State identified as one of the high-risk states, the federal government is bringing the Maternal and Neonatal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative to its doorstep to address barriers and promote sustainable practices aimed at safeguarding maternal and child health.
It is not just about service delivery, but also about building trust, empowering communities with the right knowledge, and ensuring that every family has the opportunity to thrive.
Cross River State government pledges to redouble efforts in tackling barriers that fuel maternal and infant mortality.
The basic essence of what we did, or what we have done for the past 4 days, is to make sure that healthcare is available, accessible, at almost no cost to our patients.
We want the community to be involved in whatever we are doing. We want them to own the program. This will help us to be able to deliver on the mandate.
Beneficiaries appreciate government for the gesture.
Information is power, so I will let my fellow pregnant women know what I've learned here today.
And I pray that this should come to stay, not just to make inauguration and then get the whole thing abandoned, while the death of the pregnant women or death after delivery will still continue.
The Maternal and Neonatal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative is targeted at reducing maternal and infant deaths by 30% by the year 2030. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
A hospital in Abuja has successfully carried out a cochlear implant surgery, marking a significant milestone in the journey towards excellence in healthcare delivery. The Chief Medical Director of the hospital and staff described the achievement as a strong testament to the commitment to providing top-quality medical services in line with global best practices. This breakthrough highlights the advance in specialized healthcare in Nigeria, which offers patients access to world-class medical solutions closer to home.
Cochlear implant takes place when hearing aid cannot work. It is a very successful surgery, but equally very expensive. Oftentimes, it's the poor people that suffer, or majority of them that have this kind of issue requiring this cochlear implant surgery. But unfortunately, they don't have the finance for it, and our national health insurance does not cover them. So a lot of them are going out there deaf. But if they can be reversed through surgery, they can greatly contribute to the economy.
Plans are on for the 8th edition of the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, viewed as catalyst for enterprise and sustainable partnership that has supported Nigeria's local economy, contributing over 500 million naira over the years to service providers and creatives. Deborah Balabubo reports that this year will focus on fast-tracking regional and national development by mobilizing diaspora. This report will come immediately after this break.
Let's have credible elections at the local government so that these credible people can manage the funds of local government properly.
There are a lot of respected traditional rulers in the state who can say, look, enough of this thing. Mr. Governor, welcome. Thank you for coming. When you win, what will you do?
I was the first woman that mobilized women within the local government to form the National Council of Women Society by creating awareness in women that they must serve, they must be part of what is happening within their community.
If you stop expenditure on infrastructure, how do you now attract investments?
The state governors, the presidency, that the federal government and the local government are all waiting for revenue from crude oil.
Every state has something peculiar. So the emphasis now, if your local government has something peculiar to that particular local government, the emphasis should be keep producing that particular product.
We need to do three things. Prevent the ability of the terrorist groups to generate funding, their ability to recruit, and then their ability to access weapons.
The traditional ruler gives me a title. I sit in the front row in the church, or if I'm going to mosque and I'm coming, people are passing in God's own house. What am I doing? I'm mentoring a new generation who think that the only way to be taken seriously is to be seen to have a lot of money.
Good Morning Nigeria, live every weekday between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the NTA.
Welcome back. Let's now join Deborah Balabubo for the report on Diaspora Investment Summit.
Has come to be a trusted platform for diaspora investors to directly connect with and invest in local businesses, thereby creating jobs and new opportunities in Nigeria. At the last edition, a total of 56 pitches across 8 key sectors attracted about 168 deals worth about 673 million naira. Infrastructure and real estate secured about 201 million naira across 22 deals, with energy also drawing 172 million naira investment. Agribusiness made its mark with 28 deals, bringing in 103 million naira. NIDCOM chairman Abike Dabri Erewa says with the active involvement of key government agencies and regulators, diaspora investors are assured their investments are protected, credible and aligned with Nigerians' national development priorities.
Therefore, call on you all as valued partners to resonate the message of NDIS that there's profitable and secure business in Nigeria, and we are ready for it. There's no better time than now to invest in the Nigerian economy, with all the reforms being embarked upon by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. And for any one of you in the diaspora, when you have issues, just come to NIDCOM and NDIS. We are here for you.
At this year's summit slated for November, sectors critical to Nigeria's transformation such as finance and fintech, ICT, creative industries, entertainment, agribusiness, healthcare, education, real estate and infrastructure, manufacturing and energy will be spotlighted. In Abuja, Deborah Balagubo, NTA News.
As the climate crisis accelerates, disasters are multiplying and amplifying, devastating lives and livelihoods, erasing decades of development in an instant. In this report, I took a look at resilience and mitigation as the world marks International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction.
From wildfires
to earthquakes, to hurricanes, floods, and building collapse. 2025 has reminded us that disasters don't discriminate, but our preparations sure can. This year's International Disaster Risk Reduction Day, themed Fighting Inequality for a Resilient Future, calls to mind how much miles nations are willing to go in funding disaster management and ensuring a resilient future.
Countries across the world, including Nigeria, focus on reducing disaster risk, investing in flood protection, investing in protecting assets, people, economic activity from the impact of natural hazards.
Flooding remains one of the most recurrent and devastating natural disasters in Nigeria, with far-reaching impacts on lives, livelihoods, infrastructure, and communities.
Thankfully, Nigeria is taking action. Early warning mechanisms are well activated.
We still use the opportunity to alert the people, to make them be aware that the flood is coming so that they will take all the precautionary measures.
The theme for this year's International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction is Fund Resilience, Not Disasters. And the reason that this is so important and why UNDRR has chosen the theme for this year is because our global assessment on risk that we published earlier this year found that while the annual cost of disasters is around $200 billion per year, in actual fact, when you take into account indirect costs, then the actual real cost that is accounted is closer to $2.3 trillion per year.
I have 2 daughters in our institution. Is that office to pay that school fees?
We don't know where this flood came from because we don't have any dam close to us. Flood has taken away many families.
In disaster strike, the most vulnerable are the hardest hit. The numbers says it all. Disasters may be natural, but disaster risk is man-made. So we reduce risk. We don't just save lives, we build stronger, fairer, and more prepared communities. In Abuja, Mina Daniels, NTA News. For Nigeria to succeed in the fight against insecurity, banditry, and kidnapping, all security agencies in the country must collaborate and work in synergy. The Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Professor Abubakar made the assertion during his operational visit to Ebonyi State Command. Fortunate Ozo reports.
The Commandant General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Professor Abubakar Audi, who was in the state on an operational visit, inaugurated projects executed by the state commandant, interacted with officers of the Corps, calling on all security agencies to work in collaboration with NSCDC to win the war against crime and criminality in the country.
We must come together because the nation is passing through a conflict. We have now realized that no service has any monopoly of any strategy. So there is a need for us to come together.
NSCDC through our community service, civil defense community, we are reaching out to all those.
While playing host to the Commandant General and his team, Ebonyi State Governor Francis Nwifuru commended their efforts in safeguarding critical national assets and infrastructure, but decried the shortage of manpower in Ebonyi Command, which should be beefed up to strengthen their gains.
If you look at the Abakaliki Command, it looks like a station. They don't have manpower to post to any mining site. So we need manpower.
Governor Nwifuru later inaugurated St. Francis Chaplaincy built by the state commandant and afterwards treated the Commandant General and his team to a gala night to showcase the state's hospitality. In Abakaliki, Fortunate Ozo, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress in Delta State has unanimously passed a vote of confidence on and endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Sheriff Oborowori as sole candidates of the party for the 2027 general election. The endorsement was at an enlarged stakeholders meeting of the party in Government House, Asaba. Susan Isu reports.
This is the first meeting of the APC stakeholders since Governor Sheriff Oborowori moved from the PDP to the APC. Gathered here are leaders of the party from the ward to the national level. The purpose of this meeting is simple: to build a formidable force that will bring about the needed victory for the party in the 2027 general elections. Party leaders in one voice said the APC in Delta State is one. Therefore, they will work together to ensure that the party is victorious come 2027.
All those who were in opposition to them have all gathered together under one name, APC, and the work has been made very easy for us. Most of the people here from the APC at that time will tell you that we were just not getting our fair share of position at the federal level. But you see, that changes immediately. We have one leader. The president has approved $1 billion to revive Warri Port, Calabar Port, and Hillsborough Port.
Governor Sheriff Oborowori recounted the gains since he joined the APC on April 28, 2025.
The president is a very good point. Anything you do for him, it's always a work. Now, for sake cannot pay salaries. But now, you can pay salaries, you can execute contracts. Things are made possible because the reform of the president is working.
High point was the endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as sole presidential candidate of the party and Governor Sheriff Oborowori as governorship candidate of the party come 2027. In Asaba, Susan Esu, NTA News.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, Bishop Stephen Adegbite, has named Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State the Pilgrimage Ambassador. He made this known during the presentation of Jerusalem Pilgrim certificates to the last batch of NCPC delayed Easter pilgrimage, comprising mainly Imo pilgrims. Bishop Adegbite commended Governor Uzodinma for his consistency in sponsoring pilgrims to the Holy Land, highlighting his commitment to uplifting the spiritual well-being of the people of Imo State. The NCPC boss lauded President Bola Tinubu for setting a precedent in pilgrimage in Nigeria, being overwhelmingly supportive to both Christian and Muslim pilgrimages, stating that his support for pilgrimage is unprecedented. He thanked the First Lady of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for her unwavering support to Mr. President and for playing significant roles in Nigeria's history. Bishop Adegbite also applauded Vice President Kashim Shettima and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akime, for their contributions to Nigeria's growth. The charge d'affaires of the Nigerian Embassy in Israel, Mr. Ezekiel Ikwe, commended the NCPC boss for his visionary leadership, commended the Imo pilgrims for living up to expectations, and assured the embassy will continue securing and protecting Nigerian pilgrims and Nigerians in Israel. He admonished pilgrims to avoid tarnishing Nigeria's image while in the Holy Land. Nigerians have been urged to continue to draw closer to God and have faith in His good works. This was at the Community Guest Day service of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Abuja, where there was a call for citizens to come together irrespective of tribe or ethnicity. Emphasis was laid on unity in diversity, as Nigeria belongs to all citizens, and working in synergy with one another in the surest way to achieve the Nigerian everyone desires.
The significance of the
Community Guest Day, it is an avenue for us as Seventh-day Adventist Church to invite our friends, invite our colleagues, invite our neighbors, and even the community where the church is reside to come and experience the worship and to come and have a fellowship with God. And of course, it's a moment for us to share and extend our love to our friends.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugar has successfully coordinated the safe and timely travel of Nigeria's national football team, the Super Eagles, to Uyo ahead of their crucial 2026 World Cup qualifier against Benin Republic. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said this was a result of the unexpected grounding of the team's aircraft caused by a cracked windscreen during its refueling stop in Luanda, Angola's capital. The statement stated that through rigorous lobbying and coordinated diplomatic outreach, the Nigerian nation secured critical overflight and landing permits across 5 countries: Cameroon, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola. These clearances enabled the replacement aircraft to operate efficiently and ensure that the team departed Luanda without further delay. The swift intervention has been widely commended as an example of proactive diplomacy in service of national interests. Meanwhile, Benin's national team has already arrived in Uyo, setting the stage for a crucial encounter on Tuesday. Every day, Nigerians encounter harsh realities that stare us in the face, from broken infrastructure to unpaid salaries, or those that come late after mounting indebtedness. Those issues are glaring, yet many of us simply shrug and move on. Is it resilience or resignation? Through an insightful exploration, Ibrahim Danhamidou examines this quiet culture of looking away, exploring the complexities behind our collective silence.
Every day in Nigeria, we see it. Broken pipes, littered streets, power cuts, and corruption headlines. Yet, somehow, we keep walking.
Sometimes we all see the problem, but pretend not to. Maybe that's why the truth keeps standing there, right in front of us, waiting to be seen.
From failed public services to corruption, we joke about daily. Nigerians have mastered the art of looking away. Some call it endurance, others complicity.
Solving it now, it's still going to take education, reorientating people, and letting them know that, look, some of the things that they're doing, some of the things that they're trying to do are not things that will take anyone anywhere. Instead, they are killing the society.
If we're able to say, I will not, and the next person says he will not, and the next person, there'll be a replicating effect, and before you know it, it's happening already.
For some people, it's hard to care about the streets when your stomach is empty.
As I do, I never eat this morning. I don't go lie on that day. The wires, no be small thing. We double also, but the thing no they reach.
There is a fundamental determination for how a human being behaves himself, carries on in society, because it is said that the first law of nature is survival.
For others, it's fatigue, a tiredness that comes from seeing too much and changing too little.
If you want to care, you care. If you don't want to, you just say like it's an everyday thing. So that's my opinion about that.
Some Nigerians refuse to look away. They believe that change begins the moment we stop pretending not to see.
While we were here not too long ago, I saw a guy drink water, and he dropped the bottle of water on the floor. I shouted at him. I said, hey, take that bottle of water and trash it properly.
Change doesn't start with power or politics. It starts with sight. Because the real blindness isn't in our eyes, but in our excuses.
Seeing people doing bad things that you can just talk to them to stop. Yes, of course, these are things that a lot of people don't care about it.
In Abuja, Ibrahim Danhamidou, NTA News.
Cases of filming road crash victims instead of rescuing them to the hospital has continued to elicit wide debate and mostly condemnation. Why do many prefer reporting instead of supporting or rescuing? And the special report, Oyeyemi Ajayi sought answers to these questions and more.
Talking about the death of a loved one isn't anyway palatable, as it reminds one the attachments with renewed emotions and arouses fresh memories. What could be more painful is seeing the lifeless body around in the social media, especially knowing well that such person could have been rescued by passers-by who chose for whatsoever reason just to film or for content's sake. A tragic example, often cited, is the death of the son of the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongba-Mensah, who was knocked down by a hit-and-run driver in Jos. His mobile phone and other belongings were stolen, while passers-by reportedly watched him bleed to death.
My confusion, in my pains, I wondered where to go to. We wondered what to do.
This particular case happened some decades ago, but the replica still plays on a daily basis. Many prefer content creation above first aid, with some extolling views on social media instead of the life of a person. Observers believe there could be reasons for these.
A lot of Nigerians today, they do it for content purpose, just for publicity, for their own self-interest, because now the internet today pays a lot of content creators. So many of them see those opportunities to like boost their page. So they will rather video the incident instead of helping the person.
It's very possible that the person on the road observing the accident scene may not have the financial resources to take the person to hospital, pay hospital bills, get police cases, and also the cost of transportation. Then another reason why things like that happening because of publicity. The person taking a picture would think, okay, if I take picture of this and I post it on social media, I create a wider publicity. People get to know about this incident that happened at a very faster pace.
It was actually revealed that the presence of many bystanders mostly prevents emergency officials from rescuing victims, hence a delay in response. And as the saying goes, a stitch in time saves nine.
The bystanders have major role to play. The first one is that if you know you don't have any business, you don't have any support to offer, you have to stay off that scene. Because the essence of cordoning off the scene of every crash is to prevent another crash from happening. We have witnessed a situation where in the course of trying to do rescue, because of the injection of all these road bystanders who distract the rescue operation, other crashes do occur that will even claim more casualties than the primary one that we're trying to solve.
And as it's been said that at every rescue site, what is expected is support and not report. And this emphasizes the need to be useful in doing that. Maybe the life saved today may be a source tomorrow. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Nigeria's e-commerce sector has witnessed exponential growth in recent years, but this hasn't been without a downside. And most notable will be online vendor scams or catfishing, which has seen unsuspecting shoppers lose money in large sums. Daniel Aderia in the special report delves into the intricacies of online catfishing and how it can be avoided.
There was a time in this country where it was considered crazy to buy or sell online, because why would you want to buy or sell from anyone or anywhere that you literally don't even know exists? But fast forward to 2025, and over $10 billion has been generated from the e-commerce sector, and is projected to rise as high as $25 billion by the year 2030. Now, all of this seems laudable and great, but there's a real gray area beneath all of this, and that is cyber fraud, or like we like to call it in our local parlance, 419. For social media, it is catfishing, and it has been the bane of development in the e-commerce sector till date. But the real question is, how do you fight an enemy that sometimes leaves no footprint and also can be very invincible?
it is very important, it is very key that whatever online store that you visit or online vendor that you visit, they have that HTTPS as a sign of SSL certificate, trusted one, that can protect your communication while interacting with that website. It means that if you are trying to pay with your credit card, or you're trying to enter some information that are very personal to you, personally identifiable information, it is going to be sent over the internet in plain text. It will not be encrypted, right? And that could give easy access to hackers and fraudsters to, intercept that communication between you, the client, and the server that actually provides that web page resources.
Faintola is a regular online shopper who says shopping online is a whole lot easier and cheaper to do. However, it hasn't come without some bad experiences.
She suggested that I also send money for delivery, and I was like, no, I insisted. Let me just pay for the delivery when it gets here. She was like, these drivers won't collect your package if you don't send the money for delivery. I sent the money for delivery. She said delivery takes about 5 to 7 days. So 4 days later, I texted her so I could track my package. She had already blocked me.
Probe about them. Be sure you ask questions. If they have a social media presence, go through their entire social media. Find comment section. If they are people that are like, you will see it in the comment section. They have the best thing is if they have a TikTok account, go to their TikTok account. Go to the comment section. If there are scammers, you would know.
But even with order tracking, order returns, and even refunds, there are a few Nigerians who do not subscribe to shopping online.
Do you know that people build trust online than physical? Because you meet someone online and he give you prescription of where he is, you went there and saw a product, you will give him a trust.
There is so many insecurity concerning online. You get so many have been scammed before. You get 10,000 naira gone. So presently now, Nigerians today, if you say shopping online, I don't do it anymore.
I prefer the both. I do the both. Mostly I'm very busy, so I buy online as well.
Most of the times you buy online shop, if you reach, you notice that's not what you buy. What you expected is what you see. You see that what you bought is just a scam.
Well, one thing remains certain, and it's the fact that there will always be those who prefer regular market stalls over online market stalls. However, one thing should be taken into consideration, and it's the fact that if you must do a transaction online or in person, make sure to do due diligence checks of your clients and customers, because anyone, just anyone, including myself, could possibly be catfished.
In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News24. Here now is a recap of our top stories. President Tinubu in Rome for Akwaba process meeting on security. As to strike, federal government warns that no work, no pay policy remains an extant labor law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerian National Clean Cooking Forum advances affordable clean cooking and energy sources for families.
Our vision is of a cleaner Nigeria where no child dies from smoke or inefficient cooking.
Using local language helps women express their experiences to seek care and engage with healthcare providers more effectively.
Nigeria Center for Disease Control enters collaborations to translate vital health information into local languages.
This is NTA News24.
And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News24. Thanks for watching. I am Nina Daniels.
8